So there have been some misinformation. I see a lot of lists coming on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram claiming that this person is in Spotify rap, like they are in the top 10 or whatever. So I thought, why don't we just come here all together and actually look at the actual list instead of referring to posts by different people. The one thing actually that I found interesting is that many of these people wouldn't just link to the source. They would type up, which is okay. You can rephrase, you can type whatever it is that the main information that you want communicated on Twitter or Facebook or Instagram or even TikTok. But I feel like if you're going to do something like that, then they will have, you should actually link to the actual list or screen cap it. So let's do that. Okay, so this is the top tracks in the US. Okay, for 2024, this is the top tracks in the US for 2024. And who actually ended up in number 46. So I saw someone actually paste this. So in all of the US, who is the only one, the only Korean native act that actually managed to go into the top 50. So if you want to see the act, all right, you see it, right? The actual list. So this is the top tracks of 2024 USA. So Espresso, Not Like Us by Kendrick Lamar, which is pretty awesome considering it was just released. A bar song. I had some help, Million Dollar Baby, Good Luck. And then you can just go through the entire list. Okay. And then you will end up at number 46, Die With a Smile with Bruno Mars. At number 46 is who? Okay, so some people are asking, like, why didn't Jungkook make it? Remember that Jungkook's songs were released in 2023. So it's unfair for us to expect that he's also going to make it. So this is the top tracks of 2024 USA, just US. Okay, just making that clear. Okay, next. Oh, sorry. Okay, next would be top tracks global in 2024. So this is US. Now we're gonna go global. Okay, give me 1 sec. So for top tracks global, that was US. Number 46 was Who. For top tracks global, number 17 is Who. Number 28 is Seven. And number 34 is Standing Next to You. Just think about this. Global top tracks for 2024, two songs by Jungkook that were all released in 2023, and he still managed to rank inside top 50. So come on now. You got to give him some credit for this. So it is very, very hard to get into the US list because there's a lot of songs that you compete with, but you get a better sense of the global trend with the global list. Okay, so this is top tracks 2024 global. And if you want to see the actual list of this, here it is. So you have Espresso is number one, Birds of Feather, Too Sweet, One of the Girls, Cruel Summer, Die with a Smile, and number 17 would be Jimin. Okay, so we'll go through some other things in a bit. Okay, next is you can actually go to this. You can actually look at the top songs by US state, not US city, but by US state. Okay, so here is an example of this. So this is by US state. Okay, so you can click on that to go through each of that. Vancouver, that's Canada. Seattle, Portland, San Francisco, number 5 is Who. Okay, look at that. Number 5 for San Francisco is Who. Okay, and then you go Denver. This is also fun to look at because you kind of can see the trends of the genre that's actually making. And then LA, like crazy. How crazy is that? Number a 2023 song ended up in number one in Sunday in LA. So this is fun to look at because you can kind of see, like for this one, this is with South America already, and you can see the difference in the trends of the songs that are making it on top in terms of genre. This is Houston, and this is New Orleans. I'll be going there September. Atlanta, who is number one? Like crazy is number four. How crazy is that? The song is still there. 2023. Charlotte, Asheville, Nashville, St. Louis, Kansas. I haven't been to Kansas. Minneapolis, Chicago, Milwaukee. Espresso is always there. Detroit, Espresso, and Toronto. Number two is Who by Jimin. New York, Ottawa, standing next to you. Seven is one and two. Those both are 2023 songs. They still made it on top of Ottawa's list. New York, that's Ottawa. Montreal, and then Quebec. Okay, so that's for US. All right. Now, you can also go by country. So that was concentrating on the US. You can also go by country. So, for example, here, let's go to UAE. Standing next to you and seven, number three and four. And again, 2023 songs still made it on top. Saudi Arabia, Who is number one. Love Me Again, number four by V. Iraq, Who is number one, standing next to you. Seven, One of the Girls, and Like Crazy. So this is dominated. I will go to the Philippines in a bit. This are dominated. Saudi is dominated by Asian songs, Korean songs specifically. Botswana, Who is number two at Botswana. South Africa, Nigeria. Yeah, Who is just Algeria. Algeria, imagine that. Who is number one? Okay, so they have to go to these countries. Egypt, I don't know what songs those are. Okay, now let's go to Asia. All right. New Zealand, Australia, Indonesia, Philippines. Come on, Philippines. Come on. It's all Filipino acts. Taiwan, V is number one. Magnetic is number three. The Astronaut Jin and seven. Imagine that. Okay. Hong Kong, Vietnam, seven standing next to you. Who on the ground and Love Me Again. So obviously, Korean dominated. Indonesia, Singapore, Who is number two. Seven is number five. Malaysia, One of the Girls is there. Thailand, come on. Thailand, Love Me Again is number one. Wow. Standing next to you is number three, Rockstar, and number five, Who. Imagine that. I thought for sure Lisa was going to be number one. Bangladesh, Hegum. Come on, Bangladesh. Hegum is number two. India, we need to do some work in India. Come on. Okay. Because we didn't make it in any of that. All right. So I know. So I thought really that Thailand was going to be nominated by Lisa. So I was very surprised to see V there on top. So and then Jungkook and of course Lisa and then Jimin. So I think still a good result overall in Asia. because, as you know, the language is always a barrier, because in every country there's multiple language. So to actually make it on top of Spotify, the only other thing that we need to consider is that Spotify is not necessarily the biggest music player in that certain country, but it's big enough. Okay. All right. So do you have questions there? Okay, so if you want to actually go to see the main list, you can do it. Just go to here. I'm going to share this tab. Go here, you can see the list that they have, all the wrapped list that they have. This is where you go. So I was seeing a lot of lists popping up on Twitter and Facebook, and many of those were actually their own wrapped. So that was the highest ranking based on their own list, not on Spotify's list. So if you really want to do, if you want to see the actual list of Spotify, you have to go to this site. You can actually, I don't even have an account in Spotify. Well, I do, but it's a free account and I don't really stream there. So you go to the homepage and then you'll see all their wrapped list. Okay, so that is that, so that you avoid any kind of misinformation. So you have the top tracks, artist, global and US, and then global and US for top artists. And then they have other lists there like pop pricing and all of those stuff. So go to the source so that you don't get misinformed about these things. Okay. Let's see. There's something else. Yes. So another can go to would be this. This is a summary. They are only in this site, in this page, they're only featuring the top five. Does global include US? Question by MG. Yes, global includes US. Sorry, not this one. Okay. So you can actually go to this site for the summary. This on this page, you will only see the top five of different lists. Okay. So let's go down. Top 10 global artists. Top global artists. I think it's pretty, this is pretty predictable. Taylor Swift, The Weekend. That's why he's getting a lot of streams. But Bad Bunny, Drake, Billie Eilish or Eilish, Travis Scott, Peso Pluma, Kanye West, Ariana Grande, and Fade. Okay, so that's the top 10 artists globally. Streamed songs globally, top 10. Streamed album globally, you have, of course, Taylor Swift. She appeared twice. Also, Short and Sweet by Sabrina Carpenter, which is pretty predictable. Um, Top podcast. I don't know if you guys like listening to podcasts, but I was just this was so surprising. So I Joe Rogan has always been number one, so I wasn't really surprised about that. But I was surprised with this podcast, Serial Killers. So I don't know. So I actually like watching movies or documentaries about serial killers and even reading books about them. I did not know that there is a podcast about serial killers. So I will start actually listening to that podcast. Audiobooks, I don't know if you're very fond of audiobooks. I do read, well, I listen to audiobooks. If it's nonfiction, I do audiobooks. Most viral songs globally, number one is Bruno Mars, Die With a Smile, Birds of a Feather, Beautiful Things, Lose Control, all of those things. In the US, top artists is still Taylor Swift. Future, do you know who Future is? He's a rapper. Drake, Zach Bryan, Morgan Wallen, Kanye West, Future, Kendrick Lamar, or Wallen. Travis Scott, The Weeknd, Metro Boomin. Okay, so so Don Marie said, I like serial killer podcasts too. People might think that we're weird. All right, so um yeah, so this I'm just showing you the recording of that. So just always remember to go to the source so that you don't get misinformed. Now, several insights. I know a lot of people. I think it's pretty obvious who are the top three members of BTS that appeared on Spotify. I'm not saying top three in general, but in terms of the ranking in Spotify, we know that Jimin, Jungkook, and V are the three that appear the most number of times in the different lists. Now, just always remember that this is just Spotify. It's not the entire streaming landscape of the whole world. So, and there's a lot of other streaming platforms: Apple Music, Amazon, YouTube Music. So when you're looking at this, just always remember this is just one list. For you, for anybody to have a better grasp of the trend, it's actually better to look at all the streaming platforms. Now, let us, I know that a lot of you are going to feel bad for the Yung line. One thing to consider is that this year only Jimin and Jin actually managed to release an album. I was thinking whether I'm right or not, or wrong. So it's natural for Jimin to have a lot of streams because he released an album. Now, Jin would have made it, I think, had he released his earlier, but he released June, and the cutoff is November, so there's a little bit of a disadvantage there. But I think what we can do, RM did release. You are correct, T Style Army. So I think we should just use this. Yes, RM released. Yes, RPWP. Um, I think we should just use this as a motivation to be more intentional in our support for our favorite artists. One of the things that radio did unfairly is that it took control out of the hands of the consumers, the listeners. So because we weren't we didn't have any control what was playing, what was getting streamed on radio. With streaming, the power is on us. So I think we just need to be more intentional. I usually turn off my autoplay because I don't necessarily would always be conscious when my playlist ends. And so I don't want some random song to be playing from some random artist that I know is paying to actually get some playtime. So I turn off my autoplay. So make sure that you do that. Um, we should also be looking at the consistency of a song's performance in different music platforms. It that holds weight. However, we should also consider that different apps actually have bigger shares on different genres and different market. Like when Apple Music started, it was dominated by rap music. It is now starting to level off, but still, we need to consider that. Um, Next, creating playlists and supporting each other's playlists will give us more power as consumers. So I encourage everybody, regardless of what platform you're using, create your own playlist and share it. Share it. Share it with everybody. And we should actually be following each other's playlists and playing each other's playlists so that number one, it's healthier in terms of counting the streams, which will be counted as a valid stream if you're rotating through different playlists instead of just repeating your own. That is more of a human behavior if you're going through different playlists. So broadcast, make your playlists public, and let's play each other's playlists. Let's follow each other. Then we are supporting the same artists that we are all supporting. Next, give feedback on the app. The thumbs up and thumbs down, or recommend or heart or whatever, recommend less of this. Use all of that because that is going to teach the algorithm exactly what kind of song or the artist that you are actually supporting. So please give feedback. Thumbs up, thumbs down, recommend less of this or whatever. Whatever is the feedback mechanism of that platform, use that. Bang Luna is saying, I hate having an algorithm tell me what human like is. I know, but there's nothing we can do. Okay, next. Streaming via the blockchain is probably going to be the future. So there are some applications and some projects that are being launched. It's going to be a streaming platform, but it's going to be in the blockchain. What that will allow people to do, the platform to do, is really identify unique people. So then we can't complain about streaming farms because each stream will be identifiable. So the platform will actually be able to tell that this is automated, that this person is actually like this IP address has 5,000 different um playlists or whatever. So that this is going to, what essentially it is going to do is that it will identify how many playlists or how many devices a person has. So then it can identify unique plays. Okay, Phaedra is saying, I wish more playlists existed for Amazon Music. I found one that was flawed. People need to make them public. Okay, I have a playlist in Amazon, Phaedra. I think I put it in Patreon. So I think it is 8 hours for now. I'm just constantly like adding into it. Um, I don't know if I have updated it to include. Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure I've updated it to include winter ahead, but that's 8 hours. So, but if there's anybody else using Amazon Music, let me know so that we can publish your playlist. The only thing, and I've mentioned this in the previous live, is that I do need to trust you first because I don't want people to be sending me playlists and then that playlists get changed, and BTS ends up being like 5% of the whole playlist and I'm streaming for somebody else. I'm just avoiding that. So I need to trust that you're going to remain faithful to the playlist. So, but if you have any playlists for Spotify, Apple Music, or Amazon, or anything else, let me know and we will publish it so that other people can actually use it. Don Marie said, I am new to Amazon. I'm still trying to figure it out. It's not as easy to use as Apple Music, but they do pay more than Spotify. And that's primarily why I decided to use them. Also, the quality of the sound is way better. Um, Spotify, of the ones that I've tried, Spotify is the one with the lowest quality. Apple Music is the best. And then Amazon Music. Okay. I think Crystal said, I need to go now. A project just came in. We'll watch the replay later so I can cut. Bye, Pink Crystal. Marie said, I have Amazon Prime, but I haven't used the music stream. You have to use it. Okay. So another thing is that always remember streaming matters in ranking, but it's more important if we enjoy the music that they are providing, because it's useless if all we're going to do is stream but not listen to the music. So make sure they actually enjoy the music. You know what it means. You know the kind of impact it's doing to your life. So please also enjoy the music. Okay. All right. So before we get into the next one, which is about the martial law, any questions you have, any clarifications? Phaedra is asking anyone who can point me at the post with her playlist. I'll send it to you, Phaedra. Or maybe, wait, let me see if I can get it now, and I'll just paste it here for everyone. Your hair looks very nice. My hair? Thank you. I hope it's me. I hope it's me that you're um oh, I haven't updated it, but I'm going to paste it nonetheless. So I'm still this playlist is still Jimin Jin plus 1 billion stream. So I'll update it later. But that's my Amazon playlist. Jin, I think so for this playlist, I think they're running wild is 20 times. Who is 20 times? And then the other songs that we're pushing to the next billion landmark is 10 each. And then in between are like random artists, not random artists, but other artists that I like. That includes Les Seraphim, I'll It, um, some Japanese artists like Hikaru Utada, IU is there, Ha Jin is there, Twice is there because they're my favorite girl group, Renegades of One OK Rock, Isang also a favorite of mine. Yeah, so Amian, Fujikaze, Dala, Malaysian Act. So there's my playlist for Amazon. I will update it and include Winter Ahead. Any other question? Fairlane, that is so sweet to share your playlist, Elizabeth Pesco. Oh, of course. Of course. Thank you. Sometimes I do pick who I share it with because I don't want solos. I've experienced this. There's a solo fandom who attacked me because they were accusing me of not favoring a certain member of BTS because he appeared the least in my playlist. And at that time I think we were pushing, who was I think we were pushing Standing Next to You. At that time we were pushing Jungkook. And so he was like, that person was like, you don't like this member because blah blah blah. And I was like, no. It's just that we're pushing a certain member. So